Hello, hello, and welcome to the madness that is the Charlie Marx Show. I'm Charlie Marx, and my pronouns this week are fish and chips. If you're enjoying the Charlie Marx Show, or even if you're not, then please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and follow the Charlie Marx Show. Also, please share, as sharing is daring. You can also leave me a comment or tell me what's bugging you in the world with the Devil's Advocate. But I can also be spied upon by you visiting www.charliemarx.co.uk, or you can buy me a coffee. Coming up on tonight's show, we have all the usual psychotic behaviour, plus some other stuff. But before all the insanity which is the Charlie Marx Show, it's time for this.
Hey Charlie Marx Show fans, it's merch time again. That's right. If you go to the merch store at charliemarx.co.uk, you can be the proud owner of this fabulous baseball cap. That's right. With this baseball cap, you can run, you can point with both hands. Everything you need is right at your head, and you can be wearing this fashionable baseball cap if you go to www.charliemarx.co.uk. Yes, folks, that's right. This cap is a one-off, and we only have about 65,000 of them to give away. So, if you go to www.charliemarx.co.uk, you could be the proud wearer of this baseball cap. Even the New York Yankees were thinking of changing their whole outfit for this. The baseball cap from the Charlie Marx Show. Get it now!
Now it's time to catch up with all the latest fake news from around the world and beyond with CM News. Good evening and welcome to CM News with me, Yvonne Gooligong. Our top story this evening. A woman in Aberdeen who had a habit of biting her lip has finally eaten herself. Sheila Patterson started biting her lip when she was in primary 1, and by the time she was 24 she had eaten most of her head. We hoped to get an interview for CM News, but there was no comment. A nanny has been jailed for 4 years at the High Court this morning after being caught being high on drugs and alcohol whilst watching children. Former nanny Mrs. Mary Poppins appeared before the court, giving her name and then slurring Super Canacali and a Crater Tenants Lager. Prosecutor for the Crown, Pat Mabum, said that it was one of the children she was supposed to be looking after who recorded a video of Ms. Poppins on their iPhone, taking drugs and singing that a spoonful of sugar helps the methadone go down. Questions have been raised as to why a 5-year-old has an iPhone. A mime has been sacked from the company he worked for, Mimes Are Us, for speaking. Again, we tried to get a comment, but he said nothing. Rachel Reeves announced the spring statement today in the House of Commons. She said, boing. And finally, climate change has made the summers hotter. So it's not all bad, is it? And that was the latest news. This is Yvonne Gooligong for CM News. Good night.
Once upon a time, you had to watch the Charlie Marx Show, but now you can watch it twice upon a time.
Thank you, Yvonne Gooligong. More from the CM Newsroom next time. But now, it's time for perhaps finding out some answers to some questions with questioning things. Good evening and welcome to a question. The question tonight is, do we really need a government? You see, for many years now, we have been witnessing that the governments don't tend to do much. But we have to ask, are they just simply liars? What do they do? My guest this evening to hopefully try and answer some of these questions is political MP Margaret Snatcher. Welcome to the show, Margaret, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Do we need politicians?
Oh yes, absolutely. They are absolutely vital to the running of this country.
Right. So what do you need to have to be a politician?
Well, as one very wise man once said, the secret to life is honesty and fair dealing. If you can fake that, you've got it made.
It's a very good point. Yes. That's I can't argue there with you. Do you think it's a good thing that more women are in politics, or should they just stay in the kitchen?
Oh, absolutely vital that more women are in politics. Obviously, these days, nobody listens to politicians, so they have to look good for a start. Then, women are so good at multitasking. How on earth could you run a whole department full of people and manage to do all the fiddling on the side? Oh, I forgot. That's what the men do.
Sorry, I wasn't listening there. Now, in the House of Commons, is it just humph and because I could do that. I'm very good at that. When they argue, all you hear is so is that all you need to be a politician, to be able to talk gibberish?
No. If you can talk English, gibberish and another language, you will go far.
Right. But well, that also brings me to, I mean, politicians have been known to use their mobile phones in the House of Commons, but you're not allowed to use your phone in a classroom. So is this fair?
Oh, absolutely, because politicians are important, unlike children.
Yes, okay. Let me ask you, what is 95728.32.5 multiplied by 7812.88?
Exactly.
Just answer the question.
Exactly.
Just answer the question. I put this question to you and you're refusing to answer
silly
it.
questions.
No.
Then.
No, you're not answering the question. It's a simple question.
No, absolutely.
You have
and if you give me a chance, I will get there.
I'm trying to.
But what you have to understand is the background to X and Y leads to the division
But you're not answering the question, and this is the problem.
It's not a problem, because if we waffle enough, then you will eventually give up.
But that's not the issue. The issue is that you're refusing to answer a question which it's your job to answer these questions.
No. It's my job to be a politician, not to answer your silly questions.
Okay. We'll move on from there. Should the general public be running the country?
But they are. We are the general public. Just
No, you're a politician.
I know I'm a politician, but I'm also a member of the general public. And just because I come from a privileged background and I have lots of friends who've helped me does not mean that I'm any different from the poor person on the street.
Well, that's very interesting you brought that up, from a privileged position, because the average person on the street is, probably going to get run over at some point.
Yes.
So, you have a privileged position, whereas other people, their position could be like that, or like that, or like that. And that's not what your background's in.
Absolutely, and that's exactly why I am the politician and those down and outs are not.
Okay, let me ask you. Everyone has skeletons in their closet. So should people who kill and keep skeletons in their closets become MPs?
Oh, absolutely. That's the best kind of MP you can have.
Yeah, but...
Because then, well, you can get them to do what you like so that nobody finds out.
Yes, but that what you're doing is you're having, what you're doing there is, all these people, they tend to make the news for all the wrong reasons. For example, you had Rachel Reeves, right? Now you have to be honest when you answer this, and the people out there are going to want to know the real answers. Rachel Reeves is a convicted thief. She steals from laundromats.
Rubbish.
She does. She has been caught on CCTV stealing blankets and bed linen and all these kind of things from laundromats, but she gets away with it.
That story was invented to hide the truth, as we always do. We're so clever at this. We did not want them to realise we had made such a mess of coming out of the EU. We had to hide it. It's obvious.
Yes, but the EU was only relevant in, Yorkshire. It was, because people that are there are the only people that say EU. That's all relevant to them. Nobody cares about the EU apart from Europeans. And we're not European anymore. We are on our own because we came out of Europe.
Well, I beg to differ, but those in London love the EU and they realise how important it is.
So it's all about London. So what about Scotland? Now, Scotland is a far superior country to England, and this has been proven by scientists who, we have probably the top people in this country, and constantly the English Parliament, because it is an English Parliament, they are wanting to make Scotland basically their slaves. Now, without Scotland, you wouldn't have Deacon Blue, Wet, Texas, Sean Connery.
I know, darling, but the great thing is, those silly Scots think that they are important, but we have all the power. We have taken their oil. We are taking their brains. It's a large area with so few people. We are far more important.
Right. Good luck leaving the studio tonight. Okay. Politicians' wages. Far too high.
Not high enough.
Yes, because they also get expenses, second and third properties, taxes, trips to islands, bribes not to tell you were at an island. So, all this money that is being spent on our politicians, wouldn't you say it would be much more ethical to give that money to something like, the Charlie Marx Show?
Oh, you're so funny. No, we don't get enough. Do you know how hard it is being a politician? Do you know how hard it is going to the pub after sitting in the House of Commons for an hour or two and having to chat to other politicians? Do you know how hard it is to spend your life jet-setting around the world, going for lunches and dinners with other politicians, meeting the plebs? Oh, those smelly people. Oh, no, we are not paid enough.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Should politicians be sentenced to absolute death or worse for making mistakes?
No, we're human beings, darling. Everyone makes mistakes.
Well, I think that's a bit unfair, seeing as, you have other people who are not politicians being sentenced in the high courts for crimes that are far less. Look at for instance, Jedward, right? They were sentenced to a huge amount of years inside because they were rubbish. Now, is this fair on the general public?
Oh yes, because they're not important. They're not MPs. We're the only ones that matter.
Okay. My final question tonight is, why are politicians so bad at answering questions? Well, we'd like to thank the MP Margaret Snatcher for joining us this evening, and we hope that's answered some of the questions you wanted answering. Back to the studio. Interesting. But now it's time for another roundup of moans and groans and things that go irk in the night with the Devil's Advocate. Is music dead? That's the question today. The simple answer is possibly. You see, music was great in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and even the 80s. But by 1990, things started to go wrong. Bands started not doing as much. Of course, they have made a resurgence for their pension fund in the 2000s, with people going on last tours continually for decades. Now, if you look at this map, you will see it's very nice. Now, music is dead. Or is it? Or should it be? Or will it be? Well, last time we spoke about AI. And AI is taking over music. You can go on to your AI thing on the computer and say, write me a song about whatever, and it will come up with a full song called whatever, and that song will be perfect. But do we want perfect? Well, not really. You see, people who do work in the music industry feel cheated. For example, people who use auto voice correction. Now, we don't want to go to a concert and see a band use auto anything, simply because what's the point? We can stay at home in the warmth listening to the record, and that can be done very cheaply because you're sitting in your own house. Sadly, the record is probably going to cost you thousands, but that's just that. We don't want to go to a concert and not hear the rawness of the band. Next year I shall be going to see the Lords of the Universe Rush in concert. And although it will be a sad event with Neil Peart no longer being there as he is playing with the greats in the sky, but guaranteed it will be real. There will be no overdubs, things laid down. And why? Because they are perfectionists. And they perfect in the art of it being live and sometimes things going wrong. Music has become an industry. People come and people go. It used to be that bands would tour in their transit vans for years before getting any kind of accolade. But now you appear in a talent show and you're a millionaire overnight. It's all about money. And that's the sad thing. It used to be about the music, the passion. You see, I'm a writer. And should I not ever become as huge as I want to be, then at least if I keep doing it, I will still be on the road. Whereas a lot of people give up after a while, saying it's not really for them. And with the advent of computers and things to make music better for people, it's not making it better. There are the classic artists who refuse to use AI within their work, and they have to be respected. Rick Astley, Taylor Dane, Kylie Minogue, to name but 3. So, is music dead? Well, that depends on the future. The future generation of people who want to hit the big time but work for it. Taylor Swift might have long legs. And she might have some decent songs. And she might be blonde. But don't let this fool you. She really did take a court injunction out on me. What about people like Olivia Rodrigo? I have no idea who that is. Thank you for watching The Charlie Marx Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow The Charlie Marx Show and ring that bell for notifications. Also, you can follow me on www.charliemarx.co.uk. And you can visit the merch store where you can buy lots of lovely gifts for your lovely family. Or even if they're not your family. So, if you're not subscribed to the Charlie Marx Show, you will become a millionaire singer.